Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast. Yes, another wrestling podcast. I am Willie Tiny, and my guest hosts today are not guests; they are the host, also co-host.
Yeah.
Will the Thrill and L.A. Willie.
Yeah.
And we have our guest with us tonight, Mr. Alvin Alvarez. How you
How are
doing?
you guys? I'm doing great, but before I start, I got to ask a question about these names. Where did the names come from? Quickly, let's hear this. Now, L.A. Willie, where did this come from?
Well, just honorary, like Willie here. The guys asked me to fill in, and then when I became a member, they're like, just come up with a name, and I'm like, what bigger name than L.A. Willie than the megastar? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Will the Thrill, chat me up. How'd you get that name?
Actually, I got that when I was very little. One of my good friends playing baseball, he actually said to Will, "You're amazing. You remind me of Will Clark, whose also nickname was Will the Thrill." And
Okay.
because of the way I ran the bases, and I'm also famous for doing a thing called the delayed steal with a major league scout was at the game, and he was like, "That's just amazing." And you capitalizing on the thrill on that one because I wasn't paying attention
That's
on the
cool.
signal to steal, and I just happened to like, did I get it? And I just ran.
Yeah, man.
And it worked to my advantage. So it was just not
Very
paying
cool.
attention on the phone. So
That's
that's how I
awesome.
got
That's
mine.
awesome, man.
It was something that I
Very
had
cool.
since I was little.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. And Willie Tiny, are you really tiny or what? Or you're like 6'5"?
Yeah, I am Willie Tiny.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Well,
it's just
thank you,
a
gentlemen,
name I
for having
came
me.
up
Absolutely.
with. Oh, you're
All right,
welcome.
cool.
And this is a first. Our guest started with the question.
Yeah,
How
kind
about
of threw us off for a bit, but it's
Oh,
a
we did
hell
a
of an
couple
intro.
questions.
I loved
It's
it.
a hell
That
of
was
an
cool.
intro.
That was cool.
Awesome.
So,
Always.
you worked for various promotions like Battleground Championship Wrestling, Ring of Honor, All Elite Wrestling, and among others.
I have. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, yeah, so you want me to chat about those, or you got a couple questions?
Oh, yeah. And all the other promotions you were in. We got like
Yeah.
22
So,
different promotions.
yeah, trying to just, you got to get your name out there, especially as an independent contractor, independent wrestler, independent, entrepreneur. You have to just it's word of mouth. You have to get your name out there. So it's really kind of gets from company to company, and then seeing what the product has and seeing what the product can provide me. Because at this point now, I think in my career, I'm 12 years in, where I'm not more wrestling quantity over quality. Now I'm more looking quality over quantity. Like, I'm looking for companies that have commentary, looking for companies that have a good backdrop that I could cut video to send to Ring of Honor, to send to All Elite Wrestling, to send to Gabe Spicoli from WWE. I need stuff that's professional looking. So, just trying to get out there and trying to really, really branch out, because I've mostly been in the Northeast. That's where I was trained, on Long Island. So I'm trying to really get out there and get, to the South and to the West and stuff like that. But it was a fun day. Yeah, here I was, UBS Arena right here in Queens, New York. That was fun, man. That was a good day.
Going back to that photo that Willie Tiny just put up, I said, how was that? Like
Mhm.
going up against the
Dark
Yeah.
Order.
So
The Dark Order.
cool story. I was actually trained by Alex Reynolds. He's my
Nice.
trainer. So out of the New York Wrestling Connection. So finding out that I was working with him made it super comfortable. Also work with John Silver. He's also a Long Island guy, so I trained with him as well. So the only guy I really didn't know here was Eva Luno, but he's a super cool dude, and we all got together. And yeah, it was really, really fun because we came up with a really fun match that got us all involved, and it was part one of a really crazy day.
Gotcha. So was that around
Yeah.
the time that they had the assaulted one, or is that was like after his passing?
I think that was after. That was
Okay.
after his passing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So as you just
Remember.
go ahead. Who wants to take
Well, you mentioned one of your trainers, Alex Reynolds. Now we got to talk about the man with the sick abs, Tony Nese.
The premier athlete.
The premier
How
athlete.
was
He's
that
one of the
training
trainers.
going about with that? And also, was he trying to push you to get those type of abs as well? Because he is a premium athlete.
He does, man, and it's all Ben and Jerry's if you ever ask him. But no, really, I really owe my wrestling career to Tony Nese because he's the one that really pushed me. So start training, come into the wrestling school, start training. Because I was a big bowler, so I bowled at right out of high school, went to college. So he bowled as well. His whole family bowled. All his brothers bowled. So I known his family all my life. We both went to the same high school. So we bowled on the same bowling league, and every time after the bowling league, I'd be practicing, and he'd come up and stop by. He's like, "Hey, man, you ready to start the wrestling school?" I'm like, "No, not yet." This went on for like 6 months, and then finally, I was playing semi-pro football, and my football team folded. So I'm a guy that's got to stay busy. So I'm like, "All right, if the time is now, let's just roll the dice on this thing." And that was summer of 2011, and I never looked back.
Sweet.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Nese is a very underrated wrestler.
Yes, he is.
He is, man. He is. If you ever watch his stuff, it's almost too good. It's almost like he's got to sloppy it up for it to be better, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're watching a video game because he's so smooth. Everything is so fluid. Yeah, if you ever watch him and Alex Reynolds,
I liked his work in 205 Live. That's when I first got eyes on Tony Nese, and like you say, he's undervalued. I think he should be doing more. In reality, I know he's been.
If you guys get a chance,
Mhm.
I got a great match for you guys to watch if you ever get a chance. I'm sure it's on either Daily Motion or YouTube. It's Alex Reynolds versus Tony Nese from the first House of Hardcore event. It's Tommy Dreamer's old kid.
Yes.
Nice.
Try to find that match with Mikey Whipwreck as the referee. Want to watch good wrestling? There you go.
All right. Sure will.
Definitely. LA Willie, you want to take the next one?
The next one. Let's talk about your injury. What exactly happened?
Yeah. So it was about a month ago now. It was about a month ago now. So it was Victory Pro Wrestling's Gold Rush Rumble. So it's almost like the Royal Rumble. We do 20 superstars. Same thing like the Royal Rumble. We come in, we have our numbers, come in, same rules, over the top rope. Winner of this match gets a title shot. It's very similar to WWE. So I pulled number 12 originally, and one of our other females that was in the Rumble got hurt earlier, so they pushed me to 11. So I come out 11. And I kind of come out and just what I normally do, man. I bounce people around the ring, and it came time for me and JJ Doze. So it was down to the last three: me, Jack Tomlinson, and JJ Doze. So Jack got spilled, I think, through the ropes, so he was on the floor. So it was me and JJ, and we circle up. We do our cool little spot, and I pop him up for my spine busters. So now I would normally do the spine busters, normally Arn Anderson style, but I like to kind of hold them up there for a pause and then kind of bring them down. So we had a match previously in July where I did my normal spine buster, came out beautiful. So we had an idea to let's pop you up, catch you, then turn and hit it. I think it'll look really cool. It'll be different. So we did a similar spot we did the month before, but now as I popped them up, I didn't think of his downward force, and me, to make it look good, I'd have to catch him on one leg. So if you kind of vision it, he goes up, and in order to make it look clean, I would have to catch him on one leg, and that's what my body did, knowing that, and the downward force, I can't hold him and me on one leg. So that snapped my patella tendon. So what the injury was is a full patella tendon rupture. But here's the good news. The good news is I was in no pain. What I noticed is I went down. Normally I go down on my knees when I hit the spine buster, just like Arn Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
So this time I landed on my left side. And I'm like, why did I land on my side? But I knew something was wrong. My brain knew something was wrong. So immediately my hand went to my knees. Just subconsciously, I knew my knee, something wrong with my knee, because from my knee down was just numb. And I felt like the hole in my knee. So I'm like, oh man. But I'm like, all right, now I've gotten hurt in the ring before. So I've sprained both my ankles one time, taking a cutter, and I didn't time my spacing correctly. So I went down awkwardly and sprained both my ankles immediately, same shot. But I was like, okay, let's see. I could move. All right, I'm not paralyzed or anything. I can get up. So let me try to get up. I was able to get up. This, I think, was in like 2015. I was able to get up and finish the match. I was able to be okay. So I'm thinking like, okay, so my brain went there. Like, okay, I know I'm hurt, but let's see if I can continue. So I went to stand up, and I couldn't stand on it. Then I knew something tore. I tore a ligament. Kind of figured it was the patella, just knowing my body. And I went down, and the referees were there. And it's funny, as your wrestler, I don't know if you guys know this, but the referees, what they do is they'll squeeze our hands to see if we're okay. And as we squeeze back, so you know we're okay. So one of the referees were outside. He squeezed my hand, and I verbally said, "No, I'm fucking hurt." It was like, I know I'm hurt, and I know I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to try to get up. I tried to get up, and I couldn't. Then you know what? All I'm going to do is further injure myself. I'm not going to pull like a Triple H to try to take it walls of Jericho. I'm not doing that shit. I'm 40 years old. I was like, no. Let me get out of this ring, get the surgery done, and get back. So that's the only thing that was in my head. So as I'm down now, all I'm thinking is, all right, 6 to 8 months, 8 months, puts me in April. Like, I'm going through the months already, how long I'm going to be out. And then so they eventually get the doctor, but I guess there was a delay. So now I'm thinking, like, all right, this match has to continue. Remember, JJ and Jack are still in the back, and they got to finish the match. They're the final two. So I got to get out of this ring. So eventually I just kind of slide my body out. I hop on one foot to the back. The doctor meets me in the back. Pretty much confirms it. You know, it looks like it's the patella tendon. So get it to the ER. Go to the ER, and then that led to, of course, my surgery. Surgery was August 21st. So actually today is 3 weeks post-op for me. I feel good, man. Like I could finally put weight on it. I could kind of take very small steps without my crutches, very, very small. But I shouldn't be walking around my crutches yet because I'm not cleared to yet. But I'm able to get around, like I said, with crutches, I'm able to get around easy. So just waiting on my next PT appointment, my next surgical appointment, which is next week, Tuesday, which hopefully then I can start PT and really start getting the leg back to where it needs to be, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's wrestling. So injuries happen. You know, if you have in your brain to main event WrestleMania, if that's a goal, you have to also understand that injuries happen. So you have to be prepared for that too. So I'm not down about it. I'm not upset about it. You know, I'm not depressed about it. I'm just like, let's get it through, man. I just want to work through it and let's get back to where we are. Yeah, man. This is probably one of the highlights of my career. That Ring of Honor photo.
Yeah.
Long time coming. Long time coming.
How is your rehab going, and when do we expect you back in the ring?
So rehab is going well. So like I said, I see the surgeon next week Tuesday. So hopefully he could clear me for more PT. I had one quick appointment last week, so hopefully set me up for more PT. And then I'm gonna probably make my return around April-ish, so right around WrestleMania. I'll be back, give or take. I don't want to give it out there too bad, but right around April-ish.
WrestleMania week.
We'll see. Maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. We'll see. But I'm shooting for April. That's what I have in my head. Obviously, we'll see how PT goes. That may hopefully not get pushed back. It may get pushed back, but I'm not in a rush to get back. Wrestling is not going to go anywhere. I know that. I know nobody's going to take my spot, so I'm okay with that. I know I know what I do in the ring. No one can do what I do. So not trying to really be cocky. Just I know what I could do, and I'm just different. I'm just different.
Ain't nothing wrong with being cocky there.
different wrestler. Yeah, it's not. I don't want to come off. I don't come off as arrogant,
right?
Because I'm not. I'm very, very humble, and even being in this experience right now with my leg, I'm still very humble. Wrestling doesn't owe me anything. I owe everything to wrestling. So I
Right.
just know if I put everything I have into it, it's going to pay me back, and it has. I've gotten the chance to work with Joel Gertner from ECW. Him and I are on a friendship level. We text each other frequently. He was one of the first guys to reach out to me when I got hurt. One of my first messages was Joel Gertner. Hey man, thoughts are with you. You know what I'm saying? So him and I text each other. I've been able to make connections with guys like Jason Knight from ECW, Gary Wolf. Like I have friendships with guys I grew up watching, which is awesome. And I've only been in 12 years, so it's only up from here, man. So I'm just waiting my time out. I'll do my rehab. I'll get stronger. Which one good thing with this injury, I don't know if you guys are aware with this injury, it's not like an ACL or PCL where I have to wear a brace. This injury, the prognosis is 100%. So eventually, after about a year, I'll be 100% with no brace. I'll be good to go. This knee will actually be stronger than my other knee.
Nice.
So
Fine.
it's
Good.
only time. It's only time. So I know that. I know that's where my road is. So it's only just a waiting game at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Will, pull the thrill. You want to take the next one?
Yeah, I'll take the next one. What wrestler or wrestlers kind of inspired you to become what you are today, Double A?
So you said it. You actually answered the answer. Double A. Arn Anderson right now is a huge influence on me. I started listening to his podcast with Paul Bromwell, and that just the way Arn views wrestling is the way I view wrestling. Like he says the same thing. He's like, wrestling doesn't owe me anything. I owe everything to wrestling. And we have very it's credibility, and he drills in credibility on his podcast. He drills it in, and it's credibility. So every time now, if you see a photo from me I started this podcast probably around the pandemic. So listen to a photo from me from anywhere from 2020 on, you'll just see it in my eyes. It's credibility. I'm in there to kill somebody, especially me as a heel. It's over. Like I actually ripped some girl's poster. I'll tell you a quick story. Battleground Championship Wrestling, the last show in July. So I'm coming out. This girl had a poster. There was a women's show before that. There was a big meet and greet with Jim Ross. She had Jim Ross's autograph on it. I snatched the poster and ripped it up. Hey man, I'm not your cool heel. I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole. You know what I'm saying? I'm the guy who. There you go. Yeah, man. Like that. That's me. You know what I'm saying? It's tough because I am a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? But when the lights are on, man, I am an asshole. I'm there for you not to like me. I'm there for you not to like me. I'm not going to be there. Oh yeah, Alvin. Yeah, he's a heel, but he's cool. No, man, I'm going to probably say some shit about your children, and they're like, why would he say? Yeah, man, I'm going to come close to being censored. But that's me.
No.
I want to push. I'm going to push the level as far as I can go. Actually, the last meeting, the Gold Rush Rumble, one of the producers in the back. Because I get up and I'm at hard cam, just like it's a television show. Like I treat wrestling like I'm on TV. So I point at the hard cam and I say whatever's on my mind. I don't know what I'm going to say, but whatever I'm feeling, I'll say to this hard cam. And sometimes I curse. So before the show, one of the producers backstage, he was like, Alvin, stop cursing at the hard cam. Like I'm going to push. I'm going to see how far I can go. Because that's the type of guy I am. That's the type of wrestler
push the limit.
that yeah, man. And you have to. I mean, look at the last AEW pay-per-view. You gotta push the limits. You have to. You have to see how far you can go before you get pushed back. But it's a fine line because you can't push too far because then you can get canceled and you can be in a bad spot. So you have to find that fine line. Kind of like Paul Heyman. If you listen to Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame induction speech, if you believe in yourself, you know when to go too far and you know when to stop it right before. Like MJF in the shot with the little girl, where he pours liquor in the little girl's face. Like you got to know, okay, that might have been a little too far. Okay, let's pull it back a little bit. And you see, it's a happy medium. It's a happy medium. But I'm having fun doing it. That's really what matters.
Now, is it easy or hard to like turn the switch? Like when you're off camera and when the lights are on, is it like an easy transition or is it a little bit difficult, going from like being a nice guy to like full blown heel when the lights are on?
Yeah, you know what? The hardest for me is at my merch table. That's where it's hard because I want people to buy my stuff, obviously.
Right.
but I have to be a heel. So I love the children. Children are the best. So they'll come up to me and I'll go, listen, you're not hanging out here. There's no hangout. Either you came with money or get your parents with money and then come back, or else get out from like I kind of be pushy like that, but I won't
Like
be like
MJF.
mean. Yeah, like I won't be too mean. But they'll be like,
Yeah.
wait, is this guy really serious? They have to like, wait, is he kidding with us? Or,
Right. That
so
borderline.
that's how
That
right,
borderline.
that fine line. And then when the parent comes over, I'm even worse. And I go, okay, Dad, come here. I hope you have money. So don't come over here because I know you work. I know you have a job. So pay for your son to buy my 8x10. I'm like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pushy,
Right.
but I'm edgy, So it's a
Right.
fine line you got to play.
Not
you
too
know?
far,
Well,
not too hard. Just
at the end of the day,
character.
right. Because at the end of the day, you want people to really buy your stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you got to
Right.
know when it's too far and when, it's just practice. Really, trial and error.
See, that's the one thing I like about like our show. We let our guests be in or out of character. It's however you feel comfortable. And some of the questions we, that we have lined up is just so people get to know you or your character, however which way you want to go. So since he did ask that question, what was the most hardest thing that you were like, whoa, did I actually say that? Or did I go too far? Do you know one moment that you have done that? Where you like,
for me, you know what? It was actually ripping that girl's poster. I'll tell you why. I did it, and I wasn't thinking when I did it. But when I was ripping it up, I took a look at the poster and noticed that all the autographs were on it. So I felt bad, but you couldn't see it on my face. But when I got to the back, I was like, oh, my God. Like, I felt so bad because as a fan, I felt bad, and I don't even have JR's autograph. So, but the company and Melissa Sampson, phenomenal. She's a women's trainer for Monster Factory up in New Jersey. They took care of me because they wound up getting her a new poster. And they got all the boys and all the ladies and stuff from the shows to re-sign it. So she wound up getting the poster back. So the company did good for me, because if the company didn't do that, then you would lose her as a fan. You don't want to lose them as a fan. So they kept my credibility as a heel, and they made good as a company. And she's going to come back. You know what I'm saying? So it worked out perfectly. Thank you. They did that. And that's probably my one time where I was like, all right, that might have been crossing the line a little bit.
Yeah, Missy Sampson is a very good woman.
Yes, she is.
Yes, Missy Sampson's awesome, man. Like, awesome. She's so cool.
She doesn't just train the women; she trains the men too. I know that for a fact.
Oh yeah. Like Goldie, I think she trained David Goldie. Yes. I think is one of them. Like, I think she might have had it in Travis. I think
Travis Jacobs.
Yeah, Travis Jacobs.
We're very familiar with
a lot
Monster
of good
Factory.
talent over there. Cool. Oh yeah, a lot of good talent over there.
All right, so next, you had a big booking coming up for Battleground Championship Wrestling with Elijah, also known as Walk with Elias in WWE. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. That was the only thing that kind of got me when I got hurt, where I was like, because I knew that match. I was told about that match like maybe, like right after the show, right after the July show. Timothy called me. He's like, "Hey man, you want to work with Elijah?" And I was like, "Absolutely, let's do it." So I knew already the match. So when I got hurt, that's the first thing I said. I'm like, "I'm supposed to wrestle Elias in October." I was so mad.
That's a good poster right there.
Yeah, and then that graphic came out that Monday after I got hurt. So I'm like, now I gotta post this graphic. So I'm like, now I gotta post this graphic.
That's awesome.
Knowing it's not gonna happen. But I got to push it anyway because, I still push it on social media, make the fans think I'm going to be there. So I actually wrote it like my injury wasn't as bad, like I'm still going to make the match. But then Tim's like, no, come out with the truth, let him know. So he released the statement where I was injured so that I'm going to be in his corner. So then I just released the video. Hey, man, here's my injury. I'm out 8 months is what it is. But so I'm still going to be there, though. Still going to do a signing there with Joel Gertner. Still going to be ringside for Alec Oden. And we'll continue the story. That's all.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, my heart broke when that went out, and then it said you were injured. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for you.
But like I told a lot of my close friends, I was like, I'll be up. There'll be a better opponent on a bigger stage. Just gotta believe that. You know.
So, what is it like working with Christian Ross, Joel Gertner, and the Philadelphia Playboy?
Oh man, awesome, very awesome. Yeah, we got put together. You know, I probably annoyed Timothy Embler for about a year trying to get into Battleground. I messaged him about every 3 months to try to get into the company, and finally he's like, "All right, I got your spot. You're gonna be with Joel Gertner." And I was like, "Yes, okay, let's do it." So it was me and Joel Gertner, and then it kind of developed into the group we had. Yeah, he's like, "Listen, I'll put you with Christian Ross and the Playboy. We'll do a cool little angle, set you guys up, and then we'll see where this goes." And we kind of been going show by show. And last show we lost the Playboy, so now it's down to me, Christian, and Joel. But I think Joel Gertner and Christian Ross and myself do have a trick up our sleeve, which you guys will see in about a month from now. So, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
How about your thoughts on Christian Ross?
Oh man, I saw a lot of his stuff early on, especially stuff with like Matt Tremont and his company H2O, and he's a powerhouse, man. Like when he turns it on, like I've seen him in the ring, and he could go. Even him and Tremont last show, the July show, man, they went at it, and it's just good to see, man. And especially and Christian's good because he knows when to pause to get the crowd reaction, which sometimes you may not see. Sometimes, you know, the wrestling may go a little fast. So to really master that, you have to know when to pause to let the crowd react to what they saw. And he's great at that. And you'll see him. And you'll see how he's working, and you'll see, okay, here we go. And there's the crowd. You know, so they follow right on with it. So, yeah, man, it's a pleasure. And Joel Gertner, man, talk about Joel Gertner. He's so just the way he can articulate to manipulate the audience is magnificent. Like, he's so smart. Even I've had car rides with him. Him and I've traveled to Jersey for a show. We traveled to Philly together for a show. So I picked his brain, and he's just so intellectual, where he's able to take what he needs to say, make it his own, and then give it to the audience, but give it to them in segments where it's like where you're telling a story, and almost like you're giving them commercial breaks. And he give you like a full like episode of like The Simpsons, like segment by segment, and you follow along. If you're there, you're like, and he has you hooked. If you look at the audience, and he has you hooked as he's going along, and it's just a magnificent thing to see and hear, and even just be next to him, witnessing and just hearing the crowd and hearing how they bounce off him and how he bounces off the crowd. It's like a give and take. Like you can't go out there with a full script on what to say, because you leave no room for crowd reaction. Like, who's paying a ticket here? You know, right. I'm not paying a ticket here. Who's paying the ticket? Who am I entertaining? I'm not entertaining myself. I'm entertaining these guys. So I have to give them something where they can react to, or they're just going to hear me go on for a half hour about nothing. You know, so you have to know it's a give and take with the audience. So, and he's a mastermind behind that. You know, we spoke about that for hours. Yeah, man, he's a genius.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Joel since ECW. Man, he's great. He knows what to say exactly at the right time.
Yep.
That's a perfect heel for you, man. And heels are good with the one-liners. Give you one-liners like that. That's yeah, man. It's a good trade of a heel.
I got a video message for you.
Okay.
And well, it is I, the lyrical miracle, the sexual, intellectual, the cunning linguist, and the quintessential stud muffin, Joel Gertner. But this is not about me. This is about today's special guest on the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast, my bodyguard, the one and only Alvin Alvarez, sending him thoughts and wishes of health and healing and good vibes and only the best
as he is on the mend, making his way through. Soon he will be back to 1,000% thanks to a regimen that I have him on of virgin unicorn tears, Nicaraguan jaguar's blood, sugar-free Red Bull, and a viscous, milky syrup that was sent to me by vice presidential candidate Tim Walz, which he expressly said Alvin was meant to overconsume. With all of these efforts, Alvin will be back to his usual self as soon as possible, even sooner than possible, even sooner than ever, even sooner than soon, because Alvin Alvarez is my bodyguard, the best bodyguard, and you're about to hear more from him right now.
I love it. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
One, thank you guys for that. I got it now. I'm gonna call him now when we get off the phone and thank him.
1,000%.
1,000.
You heard it. You heard it. You heard it. He's a lyrical genius.
Tim Waltz approved.
And Tim also approved, which is good. Tim. But yeah, it's hey, like I said earlier, man, it's wrestling's giving me a lot of stuff, man. Like I said, the 14-year-old kid in me that used to watch ECW and MSG at 12 midnight is proud, and I'm proud to give that to that kid. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's awesome. No complaints. And
Sooner than soon.
I have my Jaguar blood right here.
And you got the unicorn milk.
Unicorn tears. That came in a little later. That was on back order. Yeah. You know what? You know what's funny is that's a Championship Entertainment Productions Forever 5 championship. So for the first time, I had to actually relinquish a championship, and I had to relinquish that one when I got hurt. But Giorgio Lawrence is the new champion, and he's one hell of an athlete, former kickboxing champion, one hell of a kid. So he's now the new holder of that championship.
Great.
L.A.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a commentary booking coming up.
We do, yes. So Victory Pro Wrestling, so the company that got hurt in, I'm going to be joining their two-person commentary booth. So I'll be the third person. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because that's something I thought of past wrestling. Now that I'm over 40, I might not have many years in the ring. So I was thinking, like, what can I do after that? And commentary was one of them. So now I get to kind of test it and see if this is something I would want to do. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to testing my commentary skills. Looking forward to how much I can learn.
Right.
And how much, just a different angle of the business that I would love to learn and know about.
Yeah. Is there anybody that you would like to like emulate commentary? Past, present.
Well, of course, legendary Jim Ross. Just the way Jim gives you a story, he tells you a story, another storyteller, and so you can get behind these people, and that's really what you have to do. But you have to. It's a two-way street. So hopefully, what I'm looking to learn in commentary is as I talk about the wrestling I'm watching, I'm also going to learn that when I get back to the ring, when to pause to allow the commentators to describe what I'm doing. So it's like a two-way street. So I'm going to learn how to commentate, but then when I get back to the ring, I'll learn, okay, when I was a commentator, let me pause here for their reaction, crowd reaction, and then continue with the match. So I'm trying to learn a lot of things here. So I'm always learning. Okay. So so I'm excited to learn.
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I attempted one night. It was harder than I thought it was. It took a lot.
Yeah, it's.
I got anxiety bad. Like it's hard.
You got to know about the wrestlers. Like you have to know a little bit.
Yeah,
so
that's a good thing that you actually got when you do the commentary. As long as you know the stars, it gives you an extra step than even some of the other people don't have. They have to get notes. But if you know exactly how they work, then that's your
Yeah.
advantage. I mean,
Right,
my first
exactly.
experience actually doing wrestling as a commentator, I was supposed to do it with there we go, Willie Tiny. There we go, I had the point. And he ended up having the ref. So I did a Joey Styles style of watching something. First time not meeting any of the wrestlers, so I was as a fan doing it. And I was told I did a good job,
There
but
you go.
and I just came up with my own slogan. Like as I went on, I was 100% a fan watching something I haven't seen in person in a very long time.
Right.
And I guess it carried over.
Well, Will, you do have a college background in commentary.
No, but
There you go.
that was football, that was basketball.
Hey,
The school of hard knocks, man.
it still helps.
Yeah, hey,
It still helps.
it is still, yeah. It does help. Yeah, public speaking.
So just
I
so
took a
short.
public speaking class back in high school. That helps too. You know, the classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
So I think you
All
already answered this.
No.
But do you prefer being a face or heel?
Prefer being a heel,
Yeah.
but I enjoy being a babyface. Because you know why? Because I'm not as good as a babyface as I am a heel. At least I think so. So I like the challenge of being a babyface. Because it's hard. It's not easy being a babyface. It's not easy, especially if you're new to like a territory or new to an independent company. Like for one example, Atlantic All Star Wrestling, when I took on Tony Leenda for their heavyweight championship back, I think it was in May. I was a babyface in my first time there, so I haven't wrestled in South Jersey in forever. So it's okay. How do I make this crowd happen? So I was able to kind of come out and be just full of energy, and kind of almost like Daniel Bryan, kind of skip through and try to get the crowd up. And it worked. They got behind me by the end of the match. You know, they were behind me, so I tried to really focus on my selling, trying to sell to the crowd, and try to just give them a reason to want to see me beat this guy. You know, so being a babyface is more challenging to me. So I'm up for a challenge, but being a heel comes more natural to me. So I'm more natural to be a heel because I'm just even with the match. If you see my facial expressions with the match with Zach Knight for Ring of Honor, that's a heel face. You know what I'm saying? Because that's me natural. You know what I'm saying? So even though he was the heel in the match, that's just me natural. So I just had that natural face on. Even when I came out before the camera was on, I came out before I stepped through the ropes. I just looked at the crowd and I looked up just with my heel face, and I got minimal reaction. And then you know, a couple people knew me. I've wrestled up in it was in Worcester, Massachusetts. That was taped at the DCU Center. So I wrestled up there before. So some people knew me. I heard my name a couple times, but really it didn't really rise until I kind of hit him with the avalanche, the Vader splash against the ropes. Where and I took my straps down. We're like, okay, we can get behind this guy, you know. And I kind of used that as my moment. And then when I kicked out of his kind of Falcon Arrow gimmick, the crowd was behind me again. So you gotta. It's not easy, you know. It's not easy being a babyface, but I like the challenge. I like to find ways to turn the crowd, and you just want to take the crowd on an emotional roller coaster because that's what they're paying for. They're paying for a night out to be entertained. So you got to find a way in your own way to entertain the audience. You know, that's really what I see wrestling as. You know,
Right. So you have any plugs or more upcoming bookings?
yeah. So I'm actually making my first appearance post knee surgery for the NWA. They're actually going on tour. NWA's going on tour in Queens, New York, on Friday the 27th. And then they're going to be in Huntington Station where I'll be. I'll be in Huntington Station. I'll actually be at both shows, but I'll be at the Huntington Station show where I'll be doing a signing. I'll be having my 8x10 shirts. That'll be at Huntington Station at Next Level Sports Complex or Next Level Sports Center, Huntington Station. That's Saturday the 28th, September 28th. So that'll be my first appearance. And then my second will be back at VPW on October 12th. Then Philly, I'll be down in Battleground in Philly at the arena, 2200 Arena for Battleground, October 26th. I'll be on the corner for Al Godin versus Elijah. And then November back at VPW. So I'll be here at VPW once a month until I'm back and still at Battleground. And when I pop in, hopefully we're on WrestleMania, I'll be back.
There you go. Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Now we ask this question to all our guests. So here's your shine. All right.
All right, let's do it.
I think I know, but I want to hear it. I think I know.
Yeah.
Your dream opponent, past, present, or future, anytime, any place, any venue.
Any type of
Big
match.
time, small time, especially since you've been there on the big stage. Who would it be? And what kind of match?
Man, that's a good question, man. See, I wouldn't say what we call gimmick matches, which is like a hardcore match or a cage match, because that I believe has to be built in a story. So I would want to just come out with that type of match. So it'd be a standard wrestling match. Good question. Ricky Steamboat.
Ooh,
Ricky Steamboat.
Nice. Dragon.
Oh, where though? Ricky Steamboat at the Greensboro Coliseum.
wow.
That's a
And if
good
I could
one.
do it in 1984, that'd be good. No, but yeah,
That's awesome.
but
In his prime. In Steamboat's prime.
Yep. Ricky Steamboat.
As soon as you said that
Coliseum.
year, I knew it. Like in his prime.
Prime.
84, 85, 86. But no, but reason why, because Ricky is ridiculously good at selling. And I wouldn't have to do much. My size, I would play my size against him. We'd play off my size, and I would just come off the ropes and hit him with my Vader Avalanche, and he would not naturally oversell, but he would sell it so good where I wouldn't have to do anything. I pick him up, I send him to the ropes again, hit it again, boom, and we would just sit there for minutes, and we would do the same thing, and we built to his comeback, and I think it would be we would just tell it's such a good story because he's so good at selling, and I would definitely attack his ribs. And I'd attack his ribs, and he'd be buckled over every time he sells, especially against Flair. You see him against Flair or against Austin.
Oh yeah.
In early '94, '93,
Mhm.
really early '94. You could see like how he sells the ribs, and he's down, and you see his face, and he's just like selling, and he's reaching up to the heel. Man, like we would kill it. So yeah, so Ricky Steamboat down south, Coliseum. Final answer.
Nice. That's a good one.
That really threw me for a loop, but okay.
Who's going
pick,
over?
Who's going over?
I'm gonna say me because that'll get me good '80s asshole heat.
There you
I
go.
need the heat.
Yeah,
I would
there
say
you
me
go.
dirty.
Smart.
Like me, yeah, man. Like me, somehow kicking him in the dick, rolling him up, 1, 2, 3. Just like taking him by his hair and talking to him, and then throwing him over the top rope, and just looking at the crowd and just getting just getting that southern heat.
And back then
I
they
love it.
believed all that stuff too. Back then,
Yeah,
because they didn't have the
man.
internet, they didn't have Twitter or nothing like that. What you saw,
Yeah.
you believed,
Yeah.
especially the young
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
I can see 3-year-old me doing that since you said '84.
Yeah, man. That's such a good era. I'm glad that WWE is allowing us to have Peacock and watch all the old stuff because I didn't start watching wrestling until the mid '90s, 1997. I started watching wrestling live, so I have to go back and watch all this old stuff. So I'm just happy to have that. Happy to be alive in this era to have that available. Where we could just kind of click and watch whatever. So I've gone back and watched so much old stuff. I've taken some old stuff. I've taken ideas. I've old ideas. I've watched matches from 1985 and taken that and done it in the independent scene, and it gets a reaction. So wrestling just cycle. All you got to do is just give it to them. Just give it to them in your own way. Same idea.
Right.
How would Alvin do this? Okay, I see how Terry Funk did it, but now how would Alvin do it? And just do it my way.
Which makes sense. You just gotta make it your own.
Little flair.
And that's ingenious.
Right. That's it. Just take an old idea. All right, he kicked him in the dick. He did this, and he did. Okay, so how can I make it mine? All right, I'll switch it around. I'll kick him in the dick. I'll hit him with my move. It's plug and play. Well, once you never really know, like you're always learning. So I don't know everything. But as you go on, you kind of understand, kind of like growing up. You kind of understand how the world works, and you're like, oh, okay, this is how 1 goes to 2, and 2 goes to 4, and 4 goes to 8, stuff like that. So you kind of you kind of get a grasp of it, but you still learn. So I thought I knew stuff 8 years ago. In 2016 when I was doing extra work for WWE, and I was going down to Florida working for FIP and working for Evolve. I thought I knew it all back then, and I know so much more now. And it's just you just learn more as you go, and you just take the advice that the old timers have, and you try to just be a sponge and talk to these guys and understand what wrestling's all about. I had a great conversation with Mikey Whipwreck in a WrestleMania weekend. We had that big show in Philly, the Tribute to Extreme show, and it really clicked that show. Like I kind of watched because I was there for the whole day, so we did our show during the day, and then I'm watching because I wrestled Jason Knight on the night show. So I'm watching just the night show, and it's like, wow, like these guys, this is how it's done, And I kind of pulled Mikey. I was like, this is really how it's done. He's like, this is how it's done, and it was just an eye opener just to see what wrestling can be and how fun wrestling can be. Because I was having fun early in my career, but it was more of like, all right, gotta get to WWE, gotta get to WWE, gotta get to WWE, and that was just a focus early on, where I was like, all right, what do I need to do to get more eyes on me? What do I need to do to get Canyon Seaman's eyes on me? What do I need to do? At the time, Norman Smiley was doing a lot of the tryouts. What can I do to get Norman Smiley's eyes on me? What can I do to get William Regal's eyes on me? And that's what the focus was. It wasn't me having fun. It was what can I do so William Regal can email me back?
Yeah.
So now it's like I'm having fun, and I'm still have that in the back of my head. Like, okay, what can I do? So trying to get into major companies, but now I'm more having fun, and the more of me having fun, my normal characters coming out where I'm getting more of a fan reaction. So it's just the more I'm having fun, it's just the better. I think the better my matches are. So it's all a learning process.
It's yep.
Any final questions?
I have 2 here from Joe Hill. The first one, you mentioned about your, dream match and where and how. So Joe Hill's question is, what is your favorite moment in pro wrestling?
I'll give you 2. I'll give you my personal moment. I'll give you like a moment that I watched. Moment that I've seen in professional wrestling. Mine is the one that got me really hooked. Like flipping through the channels, I saw when Lex Luger beat Hollywood Hogan for the WWE World Title, and it was July '97, and just the way the locker room came out for Lex Luger was like he conquered, was like he won the Super Bowl. And I'm watching this like in awe as a 14-year-old kid. Like, am I watching history? Like it hooked me immediately. And then just Paul White wiping the NWO off the title, like it seems so real to me. And it's funny because years later, when I did the dark match with the Dark Order, Paul White was one of the commentators. I wound up telling him that experience. So it's kind of like a full circle of life for me. But anyway, so I want to tell him that. So that's a moment for me as a fan. Moment for me as a wrestler was WrestleMania weekend, Tribute to the Extreme show, being given the microphone at the ECW arena, WrestleMania weekend in front of close to 2,000 people. You can't beat that, So
Right.
There you go.
And, all right, the next question from Joe Hill, since you mentioned about like the tribute, match during WrestleMania weekend, Joe Hill's question is, how was it wrestling at the 2300 arena and teaming up with the full-time boss Christian Ross?
It is. It's something on my bucket list that I wanted. Working in the ECW arena was something I wanted to do, and just walking in there for the first time, just seeing the setup, seeing everything, it was an awe. It's an awe, just as a fan, as a wrestler, as a person, as a human being, and just seeing the arena and the magic that happened there in the 90s and 2000s, and seeing the wall and signing the wall, and so it's a cool experience. And then of course, teaming with Christian Ross was great. He brings a lot of knowledge to our matches and puts a little swing to our matches, a nice cool little swing. So working with him is always fun. The Playboy, and of course Joe Gertner, which I spoke about before, and it's a bucket list item that I got to check off. Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool moment.
Sweet.
I got 3 questions.
You said 3.
Sure.
Nice.
You got what, a number 2 on the back of your wrestling trunks? What's on the
So
back? of
early in
your
my
wrestling-
career, yeah, I had number 2. It's a Roman numeral 2. So
Yeah.
if you look at my early trunks, and my early singlets, because something for Alvin Alvarez, so the double A, Roman numeral
Okay.
2. So the reason why, because in the backyard, my name used to be AJ Too Deadly, similar to Scotty Too Hottie, right?
Hmm.
But I didn't want a normal number 2, so I used to write it AJ Roman numeral 2, Deadly. So I wanted to bring something from my backyard into my pro because it's still part of me. So I
Yeah.
had no idea. So I knew I wanted to do something with I know what an A. I don't want to be with the big A. So we
Right.
drew up like the A. So that's the A I still have. And then I wanted something on the back, and I was like, just put Roman number 2. So if anybody asks me, I could just say it's all for Alvin Alvarez, you know. But it's really for me, it was just something in the backyard I could bring forward. So that was it. And then once I turned my character, once I became Absolute Alvin, I took it off and put Absolute down the back, and we did that for a while until
Yeah.
Ricky Steamboat, not Ricky Steamboat, until Ricky Starks trademarked it. So then I changed it again, and now we're kind of doing the wake up kind of gimmick, you know, stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did week 1 of NFL season go for you?
You know, I had the number 1 pick in my fantasy league, and Christian McCaffrey didn't play, and I didn't plan that he wasn't playing, so I lost by 10 points.
But did you watch? Did you
yeah.
watch?
But I didn't watch. I heard the Jets lost. I'm a Bills fan, so the Bills won, so I'm okay with that. But my good friend's a Jets fan, and they struggle, man. They struggle.
This was a joke question for you because you said about how you're going to spend your Sundays.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't watch it, but I had TikTok, so I kind of flew through TikTok, and TikTok gave me the updates. But I actually spent the Sunday with my lovely girlfriend, and we hung out. But I got the updates on my Yahoo about Christian McCaffrey, so that wasn't too entertaining, but it is what it is.
And have you heard of Alex Kane?
I have. You know, he came on my radar maybe a year ago when he was starting to do the MLW stuff, and MLW came on my radar. And I love his stuff. I love the Suplex Assassin. I love his gimmick. I love that he comes out and just starts suplexing people. I think that's awesome. And I want to get with him hopefully soon. I like to come down south, maybe action, maybe do it at action, maybe do it at MLW. But I like to try to come to him and do it down south. I love to. He's definitely one of the guys on my list that I want to work with when I come.
I had the opportunity to talk to him, and I asked him about you. He's like, "Yeah, I'm familiar with him." I said, "I think you two will put on a great match."
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we have fun. I'm all over his social media because I really like his stuff. Even as a fan, I like his stuff. So I'm all over social media, and he knows because I'll comment, you know, what I like and don't like. So he knows. Actually, he just had a match with with Bryce Donovan, who I know from
That's
Pro
where I was talking
and I was
to
like,
him at.
oh man, and I was like, oh man, I can't believe
We
I
were
missed this in
there.
person. I wrote it on his Instagram. I was like, I can't believe I missed this in person. Hopefully, you know, I was serious. I was like, oh man, I'd love to see that match.
That's
You know, so
the show we were
one
working
day.
at.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, that's for
That's dope.
X-Brand Wrestling.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
maybe we can make the stars align and make that happen one day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm definitely in. Definitely, we have a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Right.
Comment and throw me
In
everywhere.
first,
It'll be fun.
definitely
It'll
in.
be
Now we
fun.
just got to make it happen.
Any more
That's it.
comments?
That's it.
Any more comments from the fans?
I do.
Okay.
I got one for Double A. Double A 2. There we go. Double A 2.
Yeah. Double A 2. Yeah. Don't want disrespect the
All right.
original.
All right. Best spine buster, in your opinion.
Ooh. Interesting.
Who does it? Well, obviously Double A. But
Triple A or Triple H? I said Triple A. Double A. Arn Anderson.
Triple A.
You or Triple H? Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna say Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
Because the way Arn Anderson the way he snaps it. But a good friend of mine, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Apollyon from NYWC. I'm gonna post it on my social media. I have a snapshot of him giving Tony Nese a spine buster. When you see this spine buster, how he catches these at midair, that's probably one of the most beautiful spine busters I think I've ever seen. So I'll try to find it tonight and I'll try to post it tonight. Stay tuned to my social media and I'm gonna post it. And you guys will see it. I'll tag it, and you'll see Apollo and give Tony Nese a spine buster. It seems like he just grabs him out of the sky. And I try to do that with mine now. So I try to kind of get the guy up, and I kind of hold him up there for a second. I don't know if you ever seen the one I did with Brother Greatness. That's probably one of my favorite ones. When I got him up, and I thought I held him up there forever, and I kind of brought him down, and I tried to put my little swing, my little twist into the spine buster. Take it and then add on to it.
Yeah, that's just one of my favorite moves to see. I mean, Arn Anderson, the way he did it, the way how Triple H does it, and of course flexes afterwards, like that just always got me hyped.
Yeah.
And then how yours do it with the pop up, it's just I love it.
Nice. Thank you, man. Yeah, try to get the guy, try to keep him up there, man. That's probably why I got hurt. Try to keep JJ's ass up there. But try to get the guys up there as long as possible, and then turn and drive them down.
Now I got a question for you to see if you can help us out. All right. Now I think coming from you, now that you actually been a guest on our show, and I'm working the ball as you could tell, like if you could get the boss, I know he's a full-time boss, but try to get him on the show because he's been ducking and dodging the
playing hard to
get.
He's playing hard to get.
Right. But I think coming from someone that's been on the show and actually talking to us, that would be a big help to us, man. And we'll definitely throw flowers to you if it happens.
I will. I'll message him tonight or tomorrow, and I'll see if he's got time. I definitely.
What's the funny thing
no idea I was going to throw that.
No. But the funny thing is we worked with Christian Ross a couple times too.
Because he's a full-time.
So yeah, he's he is, man. He's busy every weekend. But no, I'll definitely.
Yeah. Any more comments from the viewers?
I have another question here from Joe Hale. It says, besides a spine buster, what's your finisher move?
Avalanche, right?
Actually the Vader Bomb.
The Vader
Bomb. Used the Vader Bomb for a while. Yep. Vader Bomb and Spine Buster are my two favorites that I use now. Yeah, I started using the Vader Bomb just as a setup for something different, but I started getting a good reaction from it. So I was like, hey, I'll just use that.
There you go.
So the Vader Bomb was working for a while. Then I started using the Spine Buster, and that got a good reaction. So I'm like, all right, interchange both. So Vader Bomb and Spine Buster.
All right. So I guess we're going to wrap this up. Hit our music. You don't have to go nowhere yet. But let's take this home. Thank
you guys for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
See you guys next week.